At the tech censorship congressional hearing today, Alex Jones showed up and he confronted Marco Rubio. And it's a very telling clip. I'll say that much. And everybody on social media, at least all the blue check marks, are talking about how great Marco Rubio is. How all of a sudden, they love Marco Rubio now. Well, let's look at the footage, and you can see whether or not Marco Rubio is the man for you.
In the platform, you have 26 companies working in concert, violating the Sherman Antitrust Act, and now Senator Warner and Senator Wyden have said, quote, there's thousands of sites worse than Alex Jones, so we're becoming like Cuba, we're becoming like Vietnam, we're becoming like China. So regardless of what people think about me or the straw man, should I have a First Amendment, or should these companies be able to violate the whole Safe Harbor Act and all that, and then ban conservatives en masse?
Yeah, I don't know anything about your site.
No, but about the First Amendment.
Yeah, I support the First Amendment.
Marco Rubio seems to not have understood the question. Do you support tech censorship? And he just goes like a moron. Maybe he blacked out. Maybe he just zoned out for a second. I've done that when some people are talking to me and just randomly like zone out. And oh man, what was the question? I'm sorry. That was on me. But that doesn't seem to be the case here. This seems to be a bit of a conscious effort to brush him off.
Ask questions. I know you were the only one that brought up China. Are you aware of the deplatforming going on?
China?
No, here. Big tech companies are purging conservatives. They're shadow banning people en masse.
Yeah, well, my broader concern is that what we are trying to do in terms of preventing foreign interference in our elections.
That right there tells you everything you need to know about Marco Rubio. When confronted about very real questions about big tech censorship, all he has to say about it is, but Russia and Putin and the hacks interfered in our elections. Whatever you might think of Alex Jones, he had a reasonable point there. And this politician, this wolf in sheep's clothing, pretended that he's just Alex Jones being Alex Jones. That was an unreasonable question. Censorship, deplatforming, shadow banning? Pfft. I came here to talk about Russian interference.
That technology could be used by authoritarian governments to argue, we want you to do the same thing against people that are in our country operating. For example, for them, misinformation would be something like the truth. For them, sowing instability would be supporting democracy and free
But the
speech.
Democrats are doing what you said China does.
That you got from
Well, Marco Rubio, you look really tired. Really exhausted. Perhaps you didn't get your regular afternoon nap. You, sir, look like you could use some super male vitality. And Alex Jones here is the man to hook you up.
I think Facebook now I think it's important for them not to comply with any efforts to sort of go after freedom of
But what about the
expression.
Democrats purging conservatives?
He's
He's not answering him. Just the Republicans are acting like it isn't happening. Thank God Trump is.
Well, but
It's weird, man.
Oh yeah, it's really weird. There's no purge of conservatives. There's no shadow banning of the members of Congress.
Either Marco Rubio is completely full of it, or he just hasn't done the research he should have done already. The evidence is very abundant and clear. And Alex is right. The Republicans are pretending this isn't happening. It's almost like they have no plans to win any future elections.
social media?
Yeah, who's this guy? We deplatformed him.
We're concerned about bias in social media.
Well,
So
I think the bigger bias is against freedom of expression. Everybody should be. There's a look. I
It's happening here.
support going
It's
after.
happening here, but you say I don't exist.
Is that a heckler or a press or gaggle?
Look at this guy. He's saying that I don't exist, and they're deplatforming.
I just don't know who you are, man.
And they,
I don't read
sure,
your website.
sure, and they demonize me in these very hearings.
I think it's clear right here that Marco Rubio is lying. It's practically impossible for him to be aware of tech censorship and not know who Alex Jones is. And you'll notice the subtle burn. I don't know about your website, dude. And here's the thing. Alex Jones is media just like all of those other reporters. So he was a reporter, but trying to just blow him off, oh, he's just some guy running a website. No, he's a legitimate news source, whether you like it or not.
And then he plays dumb.
Here's the question.
Infowars.com, you know what it is.
Do you
Oh,
think
well.
does Google, does Facebook, does
That's why you didn't get elected,
Twitter
dude.
be regulated
You're a
like
snake.
do they need to be regulated?
Marco Rubio the snake. Little frat boy here.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex Jones is right. He is a snake. now that he mentions it, I'm just curious, how tall is Marco Rubio? My guess would be like 5'8". I don't know. I don't have the information readily available.
Who are you, man?
Yeah,
Who's
sure.
This guy? I swear to God, I don't
You
know
better
who
hope
you
you
are,
can
man.
deplatform me. Tens of billions of views.
InfoWars.
Bigger than Rush Limbaugh. He knows who InfoWars is.
but
Playing
you-
this joke over here. That's why the deplatforming didn't work.
But here's the question. Here's a question.
Don't touch me again, man. I'm asking you not to touch me.
Don't tap me on the shoulder, bruh. I really don't like it when you tap me on the shoulder.
That's why the deplatforming didn't work.
But here's the question. Here's a question.
Don't touch me again, man. I'm asking you not to touch me.
Well, sure, I just patted you nicely.
I know, but I don't want to be. I don't know.
Oh, you want me to get
man.
arrested?
I don't know who you are.
It's not just going to
You're
take my
not
First
gonna get
Amendment.
arrested, man. You're
It's
not
not
gonna
just
get
enough to
arrested.
take my
I'll
First
take care of
Amendment.
myself.
Oh, he'll beat me up.
I didn't say
You
that.
didn't know I am, but he's so mad.
You know, Alex Jones might be heckling him at this point, but he deserves it.
You're not going to silence me. You're not going to silence America.
But there are people.
You are literally like a little gangster thug.
There are people in this country.
Rubio just threatened to physically take care of me.
There are people who
Look at
feel
that.
that they're being
We already got rid of our First
being
Amendment.
silenced. They feel like
He tells you China's the problem, which it is, but they're taking our free speech right now.
Social media platforms, Facebook.
There goes Rubio.
Twitter.
From now on, all media appearances by political figures should have Alex Jones right there heckling them. Just to keep them on their toes. Make sure we know they're being honest.
Do you believe that these platforms need to be regulated like a public utility, and how do you go about doing that?
Well, I prefer not to. I prefer competition to take care of that. But obviously, we're going to watch closely to make sure that these tools that are being used. I mean, one thing is to say we're going to go after foreign interference designed to so and so.
But it's already going on here.
Another thing is to
The
say
Democrats
we're
are
going to go
raping the
after free
Republicans.
speech. Because at some point, someone
The
has to make a
Democrats are raping
determination. What's the
InfoWars.
difference between,
Well, that sounds like an audio clip for the ages.
you know, misinformation from abroad and differences of opinion within the United
Yeah, and
States?
that's happening
It's a very
here.
fine line, and that's something we need to be careful about. We don't overreach in that direction.
But then he doesn't know about
So these
InfoWars being
companies
banned. He doesn't know about
have
the
to
top
be very
news story in the
careful
country.
about how they, not just how they apply that within.
Alex Jones is right. There is no excuse for Marco Rubio, if he's being genuine, for not knowing who Alex Jones is. He's doing a horrible job if he doesn't know such a large and important story.
In the United States,
Infowars.com
but they don't become
better than
agents
ever.
of authoritarian regimes abroad to crack down on free speech, because
I wonder why Rubio got so
there's
mad
a-
at me and
there's
threatened me
there's
physically.
a balance between
Huh?
what is free speech and what people disagree on.
Poor Rubio.
I'm sorry, we gotta go.
Yeah, man, I gotta go to the committee. You guys can talk to this clown.
Oh, yeah. Look, it's a little frat boy. So cool.
I have to admit, I kind of love Alex Jones now. That was amazing.
Go back to your bathhouse. Compromise at the bathhouses. There goes Rubio, a little punk. Anyways, you gotta love people that come from authoritarian regimes. And
Unfortunately, that's where the video ends. It's disappointing because it's rather amusing how, right when Marco Rubio left, Alex Jones just quickly and very subtly moves right to his position in front of the cameras to address the mainstream media right to their faces. It would have been glorious, but it looked like White House security, or whatever security, I don't think they're at the White House, scuttled them off. This would have been fun, though. It's disappointing that it ended so soon, but it was still a good exchange. Alex Jones was 100% right here. He may have been a little bit abrasive, but he had every right to be. And I have to say, thank you, Alex Jones. What a lovely clip. So I'll leave a link to the full clip in the description below if you don't want to listen to my commentary throughout. I understand. I had to make the clip fair use compliant, but I will leave a link to the full clip for you. And just judging from body type alone, I'm fairly certain that if it came to an altercation, Alex Jones would just body slam that little man. I don't think it would take much. So that's probably why Senator Rubio walked it back a little bit when he said, "No, I'll take care of you myself." And then, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Because, you know, Alex Jones kind of called his bluff. I really think they should do a charity event, set up a ring, and just let them go at it. They could raise a lot of money for charity, or whatever. As amusing of a clip this was, I was expecting so much more. When I heard yesterday, or last night rather, that Alex Jones was going to attend this hearing, I thought maybe he was going to have an outburst right in front of everybody, but confronting Marco Rubio is still pretty good. That was still a decent clip, but I wanted some full breaking the conditioning right in front of everybody. I thought that would have been really, really good. I guess that's kind of wishing high, but, you know, if you're going to wish, you might as well shoot for the stars. Well, that'll be it for now. To conclude, here is Verified by Twitter.